Welcome to Winning on Wednesday. My name is Juan Vides, and I'm the founder of Winning on Wednesday. Winning on Wednesday is a platform that meets every Wednesday through Zoom at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the purpose is simply to get to know each other. I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust. Knowing and liking and trusting, I would like to introduce my friend, Joe Apfelbaum. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited about being here today.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. So tell us a little bit quickly about yourself.
So, I currently am the CEO of a few companies. One of them is called a marketing agency, Ajax Union. It's a digital marketing agency, and we help with marketing automation technologies. Another company is a training business called Evergreen, where we help people be able to learn how to use artificial intelligence for business development. We have an AI circle, and we also train companies and teams on how to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the world's largest professional social network. What I found after training 1,000 people on how to leverage LinkedIn is that most people don't have time to do that. So when ChatGPT came out, I created an artificial intelligence assistant for LinkedIn that integrates into LinkedIn and helps you write comments and posts. I call it evyAI. And we have 8,000 people using our AI all around the world from 34 different countries, including Uganda. So that's what I'm really excited about these days. My name is Joe Apfelbaum. I currently live in New Jersey, but I grew up in Brooklyn. I have 5 children, and I'm just very excited about this interview.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us, take us way back. Where did it all begin? Where
Growing
did you
up,
grow?
growing up in Brooklyn with my parents, I have 5 siblings other than me, so I'm one of 6. And my mother had a store in the Lower East Side. I don't know if you're familiar with the Lower East Side of Manhattan, Orchard Street. And I remember going to her store to watch her work and to kind of help her out a little bit. And she always kind of struggled. Her business always kind of struggled. She was like one of those small businesses that she wanted to generate $1 million, but she never quite made it. And after 10 years of trying, she eventually went out of business. And growing up watching that, that really scarred me a little bit. Like it really like hit me really in a very deep place. And what I realized after growing my own business to be on the Inc. 500 as one of the fastest growing companies in the US, we were number 178 on the Inc. 500 and generating millions of dollars in revenue year after year and growing our business. What I realized is that the right strategy will save you a decade. And
Right.
watching her go out of business after 10 years, I realized if only as a teenager I had the strategy to help her with, this is why I'm obsessed with marketing strategy. This is why I'm obsessed with leading a more strategic life and personal development and growth. Because watching my mother suffer through that and me as a teenager not being able to help her.
So when you were a kid, what were some of your aspirations? I mean, I know that you saw your mom, keep this business. Was that something that you wanted to do, get into business as well, or did you want to do something completely different at that time?
Honestly, I just really wanted to have a family and be able to provide for them. That's really what was my goal. I didn't think that I would ever have a business. I didn't even think that owning a business was like a thing. I didn't even know, like, I had no exposure to any of that. For me, it was just about, just how do I make a living? My mother always told us, she always rented, but she always said, go buy a house, buy a house. Everyone needs to buy a house. I want to buy a house for each one of my kids. So as soon as I got married, I started looking into buying real estate and I bought a multifamily in Brooklyn and I did really well with that. I ended up giving that to my ex-wife. But I'm really, really happy that I was able to do that because that really helped me. My tenant basically paid my mortgage. So it was just amazing to have the ability to buy a 3 family at 24. It was just amazing.
Wow, yeah, it's a big accomplishment at such a young age, and the fact that you learned a lot from your mentor like your mom. Has there been other mentors besides your
Yeah,
mother
I feel
that
like I feel like I learned from a lot of people. I feel like I learned a lot from my clients. I learned a lot from I was part of an organization called EO for many, many years, entrepreneurs organization, Vistage. I hired many, many coaches. I feel like Tony Robbins is my mentor. I haven't worked with him personally, but I've been to many of his events and I've read his books. I feel like he's my mentor. I feel like every time I read a book, like Napoleon Hill says, make yourself a mastermind of people, even if they're not alive. You can bring them in and kind of get advice from them if you read their books. So I feel like the people that have written the books are my mentors
yes.
because they've taken their entire life's work and put it into a book.
Yes, and you mentioned Napoleon Hill. I'm one of my other his best friend was Dale Carnegie, as people know, and it's interesting how they also pass the baton to each other in different generations. Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie, and you have so many other great people, but they just build upon each other's things. So it's really amazing if you know that.
I mean, if you take a look at all the big people out there that are supporting each other, all the people that are in even the coaching space, like Russell Brunson and Dan Sullivan. You take a look at the people that are out there that are doing this stuff. They're all supporting each other. They're all
Right.
working with each other.
Nightingale's another one.
Yeah.
There's so many out there, so many great, books out there, and so many good information out there as well. What about interests or hobbies? Do you have any interests or hobbies?
I like playing chess. Are you familiar with
Ooh,
the game of chess?
of course,
And
yes.
do you know why I like playing chess?
Strategy, I would assume.
Yeah, because chess is all about strategy, and
Right.
it was one of my childhood wounds to become obsessed with strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, playing chess. I love rollerblading. Have you ever rollerbladed before?
No, but I've ice skated though. But I would assume it's
It's
almost
not the
very simple. It's
same.
not the
It's
same.
not. No, it's
Okay,
not the
okay,
same.
okay,
Rollerblading and ice skating is much easier to ice skate than it is to rollerblade.
okay. I'll take
But
your word for that.
yeah, but rollerblading, I enjoy rollerblading. I like scuba diving. Have you ever done scuba diving?
N- Snorkeling. No, never
Snorkeling
scuba.
is a whole nother ball game. Yeah, it's easy to snorkel, but to go 60 feet under to look at a shipwreck
Oh my
and not
goodness.
breathe for air. I mean, breathing from a tank for 45 minutes. It's something that you need a lot of training to be able
Yeah.
to do. It's actually pretty safe once you have all the training. A lot of people don't know this, but people think that, oh my God, it's so dangerous to do that. But the truth is, you don't get as much training to drive a car as you do to go scuba diving. So I had 50 hours of intense training before I even got into a pool, before I touched any equipment. And
Wow.
then I had 4 days of training on a boat. And, I have extensive amounts of training. And every time I do it, I get training before. So
Wow.
it's very powerful.
Yeah, it's always breathing through the mouth, right? It's almost like you got to get used to that. Because I would it was when I snorkeled, it was tough breathing through the mouth, but it was
Yeah.
seems there's the same
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Wow. And so tell us about the what'd you go to school for? What was your career? And
My father always wanted me to be a rabbi. So I actually went to school to become a rabbi, and I actually became a rabbi. I went
oh
to
wow.
Israel, I got ordained, and when I got back, I tried to do it, and I just realized it's not for me. That's not something that I want to do. I want to
Oh
build a
wow.
business. And so I went over to my mother and I said, Ma, I never really went to college to get a formal education. Like, well, how am I going to make money? And I was crying. And she said, get in the station wagon. She had an old used station wagon. We got in the station wagon. She took me to the Brooklyn Public Library. And she said, go in there. Formal education will make you a living, but self education will make you a fortune. And so that's what I did. I just took her word seriously and I bought books on computers and web design. And, I started off at the library, eventually ended up in Barnes and Nobles because they had higher quality books in Barnes and Nobles. And I just became obsessed with reading books and learning and applying those skills. And it just became really a game changer for me to be able to have that as that knowledge. And I started building websites for free initially for people. I would say, hey, who wants a website? And people
Yep.
would raise their hand and I'd make them a website. And eventually people paid me. I would say that the reason I was able to afford to buy a house is because I built websites. That
Yep.
literally paid for the house. And I was very, very fortunate to be able to have that ability to go off and just do it, just do that, just literally go off and just read books and then apply it, read books and then apply it. There's a famous saying, if you build it they will come. I built many websites, nobody came, so I had to learn search engine optimization, and that was the basis of reoccurring revenue, which was the basis of building one of the fastest growing companies in America.
I mean, there's nothing like real life experience, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you learn from your experience, your failures. You learn from your mistakes and your failures. That's what you make. Because
But
in the
I didn't
beginning,
even know, I didn't even know, you know what you know,
right,
and you know what you don't know, but there are certain things that you didn't even know that you didn't know about.
right, you're right.
It's not even
Wow.
in that category, because in the category of knowledge, there's like, oh, I know, so it's a tiny sliver. Then there's like the things that I don't know, so I know that I don't know that, right? I know that it exists, but I don't know what it is. And then there are most of the knowledge in the world. I didn't even know that I even know that. I didn't even know that even existed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yep. Oh, I think we're so saturated with information now with technology. It has expedited that, that we are so, I mean, you got TikTok, you got all these other things that just coming at us. There's so many videos. So now the attention span of individuals is like less than 30 seconds or 20 seconds. I forget what it is, but it used to be a minute. Remember, it used to be a minute. Now it went down.
I remember. It used to be a minute, and now it just, now the attention is 7 seconds. They say
Exactly.
it's like a
Yeah.
goldfish.
Like a goldfish, exactly. Wow, it's amazing. So let's talk about the your first job experience. I know that you went back to to being on that your first real job experience and to your journey now, what you're doing now. So can you tell us about that journey?
Yeah, I would say that, artificial intelligence has changed the game. Like before books existed, it was the printing press, right? What happened? And then all of a sudden the internet, and now all of a sudden AI. I mean, that these things are revolutionary. Like before the internet existed, I would not have been able to build a website. Like what would I be doing? I would be doing construction. I'd be building buildings. I had a little construction company when I was a teenager too. I would build sukkahs. You know what a sukkah is?
Oh yes, yes,
I would build those shacks outside people's
yes.
houses for the Jewish holiday. And so I had a business. I had 400 clients that would pay me $175 up and $175 down, and I had a crew of 3 people helping me.
Wow.
And so I just, and each person had his own little car and his own little toolbox that I made them, and I taught them how to do it, and they went off, and I had a partner, and it was so much fun. But I was a little teenager. I was like 16, 17 years old. It wasn't like a real business, but it really taught me about customer service and all that other stuff. But if you think about where we are today and where we were 40 years ago, like, do you remember when you would have to answer the phone to know who's calling? Like, is that something that you even remember? Like, a lot of people don't
Hmm.
even remember that. A
That's
lot of
right.
people listening to this don't even remember that there was a time where caller ID
Never
didn't
exists.
even exist.
Right. You just had the roller, the dial, the roller dial. Remember that? The roller dial with the long,
100%.
with the wrong.
100%.
Wow. Um, wow, amazing. And so your journey from there and doing now what you're doing is truly amazing with AI. At this portion, I'd like to leave a golden nugget. Is there any valuable information that you learned that you want to leave behind and that could better somebody's career or business or anything that you learned that you would like to share with us?
Well, I wrote this book. I actually published 5 books. This is one of the books that I wrote. It's called High Energy Networking, and you can find it on Amazon if you go to highenergynetworking.com. One of the things that I want people to learn is that the secret to living is giving. I'm on a mission to give 1 million people a voice with artificial intelligence using LinkedIn. LinkedIn has 1 billion members right now. I don't know if you even know this. LinkedIn has 1 billion people on it. You can get 30,000 connections on LinkedIn, and every connection becomes a follower. Most people don't even know this little hack. If you go on Instagram, you try to get a follower, they're not going to follow you back. But on LinkedIn, when you hit connect to somebody and they accept it, they automatically follow you. So if you want 30,000 followers, go on LinkedIn, send out 30,000 connection requests, and you'll have 30,000 followers. But build a relationship with each person that you connect with. Build a
Wow.
relationship with each person by sending them a message, connecting with them, being strategic. If there's 1 billion people, you only need 30,000. You got to be strategic because you're going to get all the wrong people very quickly. Back in the day, I would only do business locally in Brooklyn. Now I have 8,000 people in 34 different countries, including Uganda. So it's just
Wow.
crazy that I'm doing. Somebody today just paid for my software, and they came from India.
Oh,
Someone
wow.
from India today, while I'm on a webinar, decides to purchase my AI. It's called
Wow.
evyAI, evyAI.com. Somebody from India, somebody from Sweden, somebody from
Wow.
Australia, from New Zealand, from Israel, from Egypt, of all places, from Dubai. And I'm just like, my mind is blown that people in the
Wow.
Netherlands find my technology valuable enough to invest money in it. It's like, wow, it's just incredible. So I'm just beyond humbled that I'm able to provide so much value to people. And if you see the 5-star reviews, do you know how many recommendations you have on LinkedIn? Have you ever looked?
Yeah, not much. I have
The
seven. I
average,
have seven. Yeah, seven.
yeah, some people have 5, some people have 3, some people don't have any. You have more than average. You're way above average. You're an above average person, above average intelligence, above average personality, above average everything. You're an above average person.
Thank
And
you.
you have you have 10 LinkedIn recommendations. The last one you got was October 2023. I fortunately have serviced so many clients over the past 15 years that I have 500 positive recommendations on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Have you ever met anyone that has 500
No, no,
positive
no.
recommendations?
You're
I
the
want you
first.
I
You're the
want you to
first.
and you have 17,000 followers. Go
Yes.
look next time. Just go through your followers and try to find somebody that has more than even 100 recommendations on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Because that means people took the time to write a recommendation on my profile and they were compelled enough to leave me something positive. I've helped tens of thousands of people, and that's what I want to leave a message with. The question that you asked was, what message do you want to leave? Is that be of service. Don't try to sell.
That's right.
Selling is smelling. Instead, connect, build a relationship, be a trusted advisor, serve, because the secret to living is giving.
And you know what? All of us can give information, which doesn't cost much.
Not only
And
that, I mean, you now know that evyAI will help you write posts,
mhm,
it'll help you leave comments, it'll help you send direct messages on LinkedIn, and it's free to try it out. You can get free access to it
okay,
with no credit card required. If you give that information to somebody else, you're helping them because we'll optimize your profile for free.
I love it.
We'll help you write posts for the next 6 months for free. Like
You know,
it's crazy.
and especially in this climate, economy, with the economy and all that stuff, with everything being doubled in price, this is something that people need. You know,
Yeah.
so thank you
People
for.
need to start leveraging LinkedIn properly, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people are already doing it. Most people are just not going to do it because, they have the information. Everything's available for free these days, but most people are just not going to do it because they're so busy surviving instead of thriving. It's so much easier to survive because we're programmed to survive. But I want people listening to this to start thriving, to realize that we're living in the world of abundance. We're living in a global economy, and it's only getting more and more global with more people. Out of the 8 billion people that exists, only about half of them even have access to the internet, or they say less than half have access to the internet. What happens when another billion people join the internet? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen online? There's going to be more opportunity for everybody. There's going to be more money entering the internet. What do you think when the next generation, where do you think they're going to go when they graduate TikTok, when they graduate Snapchat, when they graduate all those apps where teenagers are now graduating and becoming executives at companies? Where do you think they're going to go? They're going to go to LinkedIn. That's where they're
Right.
going. LinkedIn's going from 1 billion users to 3 billion users over the next 10 years. So if there's a platform that you need to learn, it's LinkedIn. If there's a technology that you need to master, if you're serious about business, if you're serious about relationships, if you're serious about networking, if you're serious about influence, it's LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn is in a massive growth path and it's owned by Microsoft. I don't know if you know this, but Microsoft paid $26.2 billion for LinkedIn. Very
Wow.
powerful.
It is. It is. And the other thing that I do with LinkedIn, because I'm a heavy LinkedIn user, and I always tell people that you always want to give something of value. And always when you want to interact with somebody, always give that value. And of somebody, that connection, the instant connection that of somebody, the mutual connections that LinkedIn has. I like. It's really nice to have the mutual connections because right now there's too many people there are scammers, fraudsters, and that's the other thing you have to look out because one of my friends almost got a job and got scammed from applying for a job in LinkedIn, and it turned out, and it almost like legit, it seemed legit that they did the interview, everything. At the end of the day, they wanted his social security number, all the bank information, all that stuff, so that they could deposit, quote unquote, his payment. But it was all a scam. So you got to be careful with some of the stuff like that too.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy what people are willing to do to scam. And for them, it's just, they don't know any better. They don't
A
know
hundred
how to make
percent.
money in a positive way. So it's not like they're like, oh, this is how I know how to make money.
But
Dude, you can make money in a positive way.
there's also got to be that same balance, So yes, it's always good, but you also got to be careful also that with the LinkedIn. This is always, that a lot. But any social media, anything on the internet, right? You always
Yeah.
have vulnerability. That you have to think, but that's something that it's being big now with security, with the viruses and all that stuff, with being compromised, and people vetting. So I think now as a marketer, you have to do more work to promote yourself and properly vet yourself. And I always say to people about this, this about the About Us page is the second most looked up page on a website because people are looking up for information. They want to validate
Yeah.
to check who you are. So that's
Yeah.
another thing. Talk about that. But that's is really good though. But
Yeah.
thank you. That's a lot of great information, by the way. So you have so much and so much great knowledge. That's great advice, by the way. And I always say that LinkedIn is a great tool, by the way. So it's a wonderful. I want to talk about the networks. Besides LinkedIn, do you use other networks or do you belong to any other communities or organizations that you want to like give a
So
shout out
here,
to? Hmm.
so I'm a member of the Executives Association of New York City. If anyone wants to check that out, it's eanyc.com. It's for companies that are over $5 million a year in annual revenue. And I've been a member of that for over 10 years, and I absolutely love being a member of EANYC. There's so many valuable executives that are part of YPO, EO, Vistage, and many other organizations that come together to network and build relationships. I'm also a member of the National Speakers Association. I'm a professional speaker, and people hire me to speak on many different topics. This is the reason I'm able to speak the way that I speak, is because I practice very, very much. 15 years ago, when Google approached me to become a Google trainer, I had no idea how to train. I had no idea what to do. I had no idea how to even speak. Like I was afraid of public. You asked me to get in front of a stage 15 years ago, forget it. I would never do it. I would never do it. I had to go through a lot of personal development to be able to speak in front of thousands of people,
Yes.
be able to even get paid to speak like that. And so, Jim Rohn said you can only grow yourself. You can only grow your business as much as you grow yourself. Jim Rohn said you can only grow your business as much as you grow yourself. And so, for me, what I just want to encourage people and let them know that you have the ability to learn new skills. You have the ability to improve yourself, and communication skills is one of the most important skills that you can learn in your life. It has changed my life to be able to publish books. One day I'm not going to be around. There's one thing that's guaranteed. We're all going to die. We're all going to
And
no
and
one's
and
living
taxes
forever.
and taxes and taxes.
Yes. So we're all going to die. So if you're going to die for sure, why not make your mark in this world?
Right.
And so one of the core values of Entrepreneurs Organization, EO, is make your mark. That's an organization where if you have over $1 million in annual revenue, you can join that organization to learn and grow together with other entrepreneurs. They have 15,000 entrepreneurs globally. And they say make your mark. That's one of their core values. And so I feel very, very humbled and honored that I was able to make my mark in my little time that I was here.
Wow. So, well, we're coming to the end of our interview. Tell us about your services or what. I know you have both companies. You mentioned both companies, but do you want to go in more depth into each
Yeah, so
one?
the
Mhm.
main business that I want to talk about today is called evyAI, evyai.com. Anybody can try it for free if they go to evyai.com if you use LinkedIn. And that business allows people to be able to comment, post, direct message, optimize their profile, and much more on LinkedIn. So I highly recommend everybody go there, sign up for free, try to write a post. You can create personas. There's a lot that you can do. We have a whole demo and on YouTube that you can watch. And there's another business called Ajax Union. So if you need marketing automation for your business, even if you're a mom and pop and you're only doing 100,000 or 200 or 300,000 a year, and you need marketing automation for your business, then you can get a demo of the technology by just sending a text to 973 841 8868. That's 973 841 8868. And the reason I picked the 973 number is because I moved to Jersey. And I have an artificial intelligence marketing automation tool that will send you a demo of evyAI. Just type in the word demo, send it, and you send the word demo to 973-841-8868, and you're going to get a demo of evyAI. But that marketing automation technology that I'm using is technology that I provide to small businesses through our website, unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com.
Yep.
So for the longest time, I was just servicing large companies that could afford very expensive technologies. I myself spend over $20,000 a month on technologies, but this technology is very, very affordable, and I'm willing to let anybody try it out for free. It does unlimited email automation, unlimited text automation. It has a lot of features like landing page software, forms. It has memberships. It has so many different things that you can do with it. Social posting on every platform, and there's one small monthly price for it, but I'll let everyone use it for free if they want to try it out, and set it up so that your business can get a better reputation, more SEO, more success with unlimiteddigitalmarketing.com. And
Exactly.
yes, there's two D's in the URL.
And so for the folks out there, we play in the same universe because I've had my own digital marketing firm for 25 years. But
Okay.
this is a good example how you just said there's about 8 billion people in this world. I can't service 8 billion. You know, it's enough business for everybody to
And,
go around.
and frankly, people should use you, Juan. They shouldn't use me. Like if you're listening to this and you want a marketing agency, go use Juan's agency.
Oh
But if,
no,
but
no,
if
no.
you're an HVAC company, I want to do business with you. So
Okay,
like
yeah,
you got to focus on the niches. So if you're
yeah.
just a general
Well,
company, go to Juan. But if you're
my
an
like
HVAC, come to me.
my the Rich Colbert who he does PR. I don't know if you know him, but I just interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. He said there's riches in the niches. I like that. There's riches in the niches, and one of the things that I've done is I specialize in the lawyers in the legal field. So in the last couple of years, I've done over 100 law firm websites and a bar association. I did the website for the
So you're
National
a
Bar
lawyer.
Association.
You're a lawyer marketer.
I'm a lawyer marketer, yeah, when it comes down to yeah, and
So
but
if
it
you
more.
focused on that, how many lawyers do you, if you just search the word lawyer on LinkedIn, how many
Mhm.
lawyers do you think there are on LinkedIn? Let's just take a guess.
Well, I'm just gonna. They're probably about 2, 3 million.
If I search lawyer on LinkedIn, the word lawyer, I get
Uh,
1.4 million lawyers.
1.4, 1.4.
That's,
Okay.
but you can only be connected to 30,000. So what I would tell you to do
Mm-hmm.
is I would tell you to search managing director and then, or managing partner.
Right.
That would be better. And I would type in lawyer.
Right.
You just search managing partner, lawyer, and there's 1.1 million that have that word.
All right. You see,
That's what I would do.
and this is what we're talking about. We're gonna definitely gonna talk after this interview, obviously, and I can't wait to start working together. But this is what it's all about. It's also sometimes don't see each other as a competition, but a collaborative. We could do collaborative joint efforts. You could do other things, and this is other things. This is the beauty about working together. And sometimes,
I agree 100%. And sometimes giving, like I give people tips all the time and help them out.
mm-hmm,
Just like just if you quote the words managing partner and the word lawyer separately, and you search just in New York City alone, there's only 644 results. And so I'm going to send you that search so you can connect with all 644 and then maybe pick up another 10, 15 clients from that.
wow, this has been excellent. Well, thank you so much for this interview, Joe. And if there's any other telephone numbers or anything, I know you gave us an email. Did you give us an email or any
Well,
other
if you
the
want
best
to
way?
email me, my
Yeah,
email is joe@ajaxunion.com. That's JOE at Ajax, AJAXUNION.com. And of course, you can find me on Amazon, you can find me on Google, and you can
LinkedIn.
find me on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Joe. And if you'd like to be a member of Winning on Wednesday, simply go to our website, winningonwednesday.com, and sign up as the first time guest. And we hope to see you next time.